Okay, so yesterday we have seen about your Kali carbonicum. Today we are going to learn about Kali bichromicum. Okay, so it is bichromate of potash. Basically, weakness is running through all the potassium. Okay, yesterday we have seen in Kali carbonicum, the weakness is running through all the potassium. Here in Kali carbonicum, if you are going to understand about this drug, the most important affinity or most important sphere of action about this drug are mucous membrane. Mucous membrane of stomach, bowels, air passages, and bones, fibrous tissue, everything where mucous membranes are going to become up, like your stomach and bowels and air passages. Basically, air passages means your respiratory symptoms. Okay, respiratory system. So all over here, it is going to be affected. Bones and fibrous tissue, it again affects the bones and fibrous tissue. Kidneys, heart, liver are also affected with it. Incipient parenchymatous nephritis. Try to understand it. It's incipient parenchymatous nephritis. Nephritis with gastric disturbances and cirrhosis of liver. Anemia and absence of fever are characteristics. Here, anemia and absence of fever, but cirrhosis of liver is seen. Nephritis is seen. Where cirrhosis of liver is seen, but there is anemia is absent. Fever is absent. Okay, so basic characteristic of this remedy is anemia and fever, anemia and absence of fever. Okay, but this is most important remedy for your mucous membrane, like of stomach, of bowels, and air passages. So this is important remedy for all your gastric complaints and all your respiratory complaints. Bones and fiber tissue are going to be affected. Kidneys, here parenchymatous nephritis, incipient parenchymatous nephritis is seen. So this is the remedy where you can find the moderate like pathology you will find. Okay, the basic pathology, degenerative and pathology which progresses over mucous membranes are affected. Okay, general weakness bordering on paralysis. Everywhere wherever general weakness is coming up, there is paralysis. Okay, so whenever coming up with the paralysis, but there is a general weakness, it is specially indicated for fleshy fat light complex person subject to catarrh or with syphilitic or scrofulous history. Try to understand it. This is really important. What happened? They indicated for fleshy, the fleshy people who are really very stout, really very robust personality, fleshy, who are having lot of flesh, the muscle mass is there, fats, fatty tissues is there, fleshy people who are fat, okay, fatty people, and light complexions means the people who are having light complexions, uh, fair people. It is not black people or not a blackish or not a dark complexion. Okay, the light complexion people are there. Person subject to catarrh with syphilitic or scrofulous history. Now, what do you mean by catarrh or with syphilitic or scrofulous history? Catarrhal symptom, respiratory symptoms are coming up where mucus is going to be passed, and with syphilitic and scrofulous history with tubercular like history. Tubercular, if you are going to look towards the tubercular diathesis and tubercular miasm, such type of histories are there. Okay, where recurrency of symptoms where mucous membrane are affected in such a way that the inflammation of mucous membrane or degeneration or destruction of mucous membrane is commonly seen with syphilitic and scrofulous. Such recurrence is commonly seen. Symptoms are worse in the morning, pain, migrate weekly. Symptom get worse in the morning, pain migrate quickly, rheumatic and gastric symptom alternate. This is really important. Rheumatic symptom and gastric symptom going to get alternate with each other. More adapted to subacute rather than violent acute stage. Okay, this is really more adapted to subacute rather than violent acute stage. Mucous membrane everywhere are affected. Okay, at everywhere mucous membrane are going to be get affected. Catarrh of pharynx, larynx, bronchi, and nose. Try to understand it. Catarrh. Okay. Catarrh means inflammation which leads to secretion of your mucous membrane, profuse mucus secretion. Sorry, not membrane, it's secretion. Inflammation of your mucous membrane where profuse mucus secretion is seen. Catarrh of your pharynx, larynx, bronchi, and nose. Okay, tough, stringy, viscid secretions. Let me tell you, this is really best remedy for your stringy mucus, okay, stringy viscid secretions is produced, which is condition is strong guiding symptom for this. And on this basis I have prescribed many a time. What do you mean by stringy? Stringy means the things which are seen in a line, okay. If you are going to look toward that injury of a Calibacromicum, if you are going to try to lift up the crust of a mucus, you will find some stringy secretion. Have you ever seen, I will tell you in Marathi, पाक पाहता तुम्ही, पाक साखरेचा पाक बनवतो आपण, त्याच्यामध्ये तार पकडली जाते, बरोबर? राईट गाईज? येस.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके. सो असं तार येते, म्हणजे त्याच्या सिक्रेशन्स ना सुद्धा अशी तार येते. ओके. सच स्ट्रिंजी सिक्रेशन्स आर सीन. म्हणजे एक तारी पाक असतो, दोन तारी पाक असते, तसे तार निघते. अगदी असे लॉंग गोइंग ऑन. यू हॅव सीन इन अ rural area the children who are having such nasal discharges with long stringy discharges. Okay, and we make a joke on that, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. So such stringy discharges you will find it out in this patient, and on basis of this stringy discharges, stringy and viscid secretions. These secretions are really very viscid, and which is condition is very strong guiding symptom for this drug. Perforation of the septum, chronic atonic catarrh. Okay, there is atonic catarrh. You will find over here atonic catarrh, prolapses, dilatation of stomach and heart. Okay, there is chronic atonic catarrh means what? Atonicity you will get. Okay, you will not find tonicity in the your stomach. There is atonicity, polyps and dilation of stomach and heart. Dilatation of your stomach and heart is going to seen over this remedy. Head, vertigo with nausea when rising from the seat. Okay. Whenever patient is going to get up, okay, rising from the seat, patient will get that vertigo with nausea. Yesterday we have seen in Kalika no, vertigo while moving the head. Here vertigo with nausea when rising up from the seat. Headache over the eyebrows preceded by blurred vision. Okay, patient firstly see the blurred vision become blurred, and then there is a headache above the eyebrow. Okay, aching and fullness in gabella, this part, your part between the eyebrows. Okay, gabella, here there is lot of aching, semilateral headache in a small spot. Okay, semilateral headache in a small spot and from suppressed catarrh. Now try to understand this headache from suppressed catarrh. Okay, if you have seen the patient of sinusitis, they have a lot of headache, okay, because of the suppressed catarrh. What happened whenever these people is having
Ma'am.
yes.
मॅम सुष्मिता दीदीला ऍडमिट करा ना.
अरे करते ना, ऍडमिट झालेले आहेत बाळा, सगळे करते, होत आहेत.
ओके ओके हा.
Okay. So whenever you are going to look towards these patients, whenever you are going to see these patients, especially I was talking about sinusitis. What happened in sinusitis? Because of when these people get sneezing, and when these people is going to get some coryza, they will take some medicine and they will stop that coryza. Okay, that secretions has not been completely removed out. Okay, after that what happened when such mucosal secretion has been there for a long time, which has not been out, okay, which has not been taken out properly, coryza has not been flown very properly. At that time that coryza and that all mucus has been settled in your sinuses. Okay, or sinusitis come up, sinusitis inflammation come up of the sinuses, which lead to secretion of slightly mucus, and then there is a inflammation and lot of pain. And at that time, so such suppressed catarrh, okay, patient had taken some medicine, and after that after taking some medicine, catarrh or secretions get suppressed, and after suppression of that secretions, it leads to a headache. Okay, so this is the remedy for your sinusitis. If you're not understanding anything now, what should I give in this patient? Okay, after giving this remedy, after using this catarrh for Calibacromicum, you will get relieving of headache which is come up with your coryza. Okay, there is frontal pain usually over one eye. Okay, Frontal pain usually over one eye. Bone and scalp are going to feel sore. Okay, there is soreness in bones and scalp. Okay, lot of soreness is there in bones and scalp. Then we'll move towards the eye complaints. Eye, there is supraorbital neuralgia. Supraorbital neuralgia, especially of right-sided. Okay, right-sided supraorbital neuralgia you will see in this patient. Eyelid really burns. Okay, there is lot of burning in the eyelids. Swollen and edematous eyelid. Discharges ropey and yellow. Now try to understand. These are the things where you will which these are the things which you are going to get in your um, conjunctivitis or your corneal ulcerations likewise. Okay, so such supraorbital neuralgia which is especially right sided, then eyelid become burned, swollen, edematous, swollen eyelids, burning eyelids, edematous eyelids with discharges are ropey and yellow. Okay, with which are the stringent discharges. Okay, whenever you are going to look towards the chylobacteremicum patient, you look for the stringent discharges. Then ulcers on cornea, corneal ulceration, no pain or no photophobia. Especially ulcers where no pain and no photophobia, corneal ulcer. Then dyssymetries with only moderate irritation of eye and Crupus conjunctivitis, glandular lead with pannus formation. Glandular lead with pannus formation, iritis with punctate deposits on inner surface of cornea, slight pain and severe ulceration and inflammation. Conium is opposite. Okay, slight pain with severe ulceration or severe inflammation is chylobacteremicum, and lot of pain with small slight ulceration you will get in your conium. Okay, now understand all this condition very well. There is ulcers on cornea, no pain or no photophobia. Patient will not have any pain, or patient cannot fear about light. Patient will look towards light very properly. There is dyssymetritis with only moderate irritation of eye. Whenever patient is going to have that irritation, it is really moderate. Patient will not have more pain. Crupus conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis where lot of croupy and ropey and yellowish discharges is there. Granular lid. Granulation on the lids with pannus, with uh, lot of pannus like structure. Iritis with punctate deposits in inner surface of cornea. While healing of the corneal ulcer, these punctate deposits occur with severe ulceration and inflammation but slight pain. Okay, now ear complaints, swollen with tearing pain. Ear gets swollen with tearing pain, thick, yellow, stringy, fetid discharges. This is really important. Thick, yellow, stringy, and fetid discharges. Offensive discharges are there. Yellowish discharges are there. Whenever you are going to look towards the chylobacteremicum, yellow discharges, stringent discharges. This is important part. Okay, you will find this yellowness. You will find that stringiness. There is lot of sharp stitches in a left ear. Okay, now if you are going to look towards the eye complaints you will get right sided, but ear complaints you will get the left sided. Okay, completely opposite to each other. Now nose, snuffles of children's, write it down, snuffles of children's. This is the important remedy for your patients, for your surgery therapeutics. Okay, snuffles of children, especially fat chubby babies. Any fat chubby babies having lot of sneezing, and patient have soreness in the nose and sneezing and coryza and rhinitis like complaints, especially children who are really chubby and fat. Okay, in such babies you can use this remedy. Pressure and pain at the root of nose. There is lot of pressure and lot of pain at the root of nose. Sticking pain in the nose. There is sticking pain. Okay, continuous sticking pain. Continuous as if something is going to stick towards that. Septum of nose is get ulcerated. Round ulcer. Fetid smell. Discharges are thick, ropey, greenish yellow, tough, elastic plug from the nose. Try to understand this pathology. This pathology which is hitting towards your psychosyphilitic pathology. Okay, it is not your psoriatic pathology. Try to understand this remedy in very well manner. Okay, septum get ulcerated where round ulcer come up. There is fetid smell. There is offensive smell. Discharges which are thick, which are ropey, greenish, yellowish discharges. Tough elastic plug from the nose. There is tough and elastic plug from the nose. Leaves a raw surface. Okay, inflammation extended to frontal sinuses. Inflammation which get extended to frontal cyanosis with distress and fullness at a root of nose. Okay, there is lot of distress and lot of fullness at the root of nose, dropping from the posterior nares like hydrostis. Now what do you mean by dropping from the posterior nares? What happen when patient get this coryza, when patient is going to get this cough, coryza, and this all of this sneezing and all this coryza like symptoms or rhinitis, what happen, some patient get the coryza at the posterior nares. Okay, where you inhale from where when you inhale from your nose, after that your air is going to get pass through your windpipe, right? So at that passage which get open in the mouth, at that passage there is lot of pain. Okay, there is lot of fullness, there is a lot of dropping down. Okay, mucus, your mucus secretion get dropping down from that part, and that get affected, especially in all cali, especially in hydrostis, then your calcarea carb, that get really affected. There is stitching pain sometime, there is fullness sometime, and some patient really have coryza is starting with there. The inflammation start at posterior nares. Okay, so that really become an important location in cases of coryza according to homeopathy. Okay, so that you can change, you can understand that uh, location, and according to that you can understand the remedy properly. Okay, there is much hacking, patient continuously okay, patient need to hack, patient need to throw out that cough. Okay, throughout that expectoration. Okay, so continuous hawking is there, inability to breathe, this patient really cannot breathe through the nose. Okay, through nose they cannot breathe. Dryness, coryza with obstruction of nose, there is lot of coryza with obstruction of nose. Violent sneezing, lot of sneezing is there. Profuse watery nasal discharges, profuse discharges, watery discharges, lot of discharges, but which is really very stringy. Okay, stringy discharges is the through the nose. Chronic inflammation of frontal sinus with stopped up sensation. There is chronic inflammation. Okay, chronic inflammation, frontal sinusitis, but which is really very chronic. Okay, with watery nasal discharges. Sometimes discharges are ropey, greenish, yellow with smell, thick discharges with a lot of ulceration, especially on the septum. Okay, so such type of pathology is seen in nose complaints in this remedy. We'll move further. Face, there is florid complexion, blotchy red appearance. Okay, blotchy and red appearance. What do you mean by blotchy and red appearance? What happened? In this type of patient, they are not anemic as such. Okay, there is a reddish appearance. Acne, now this acne, for acne, this jubilance or kaliars or kali bichromicum are the remedy. But when this, we can use this remedy whenever you are going to open up that acne part. Okay, when you are going to pop, when there is a lot of pus formation, pus collection in this acne or that pimple, and you are going to remove out that pus collection, you are trying to removing that pus collection, and you will get that stringy pus. Okay, at that time go for calibicromicum. At that time you cannot use your other remedies like your uh, Favinia or like your Barberries aqua likewise. Okay, here you have to use jubilance or Kaliars or like calibicromicum. Bones become sensitive, face bone becomes sensitive, especially beneath the orbits. There is supraorbital neuralgia, right? So there is bone becomes sensitive, especially beneath the orbits. Mouth dry, viscid saliva, dryness of the mouth and viscid saliva, tongue is get mapped. Another remedy for mapped tongue, can you tell me?
Natramur.
Great.
Natramur, ma'am.
Great. Natramur is the remedy for your mapped tongue. Okay. Red, shining, smooth, and dry with dysentery. Okay. Red tongue, shining tongue. Okay. Smooth tongue and dry tongue with dysentery. Broad, flat, indented, thickly coating, and filling of hair on tongue. This is really important. Filling of hair on tongue. There is thickly coated filling of hair on the tongue, and sometime what happen, this fetidity come up whenever there is chronicity come up in the picture. whenever you are going to use this remedy for your chronic inflammation and chronic diseases, at that time you will get this thickly coated, okay. But whenever you are going to look towards the acute attack of your sinusitis, uh, at that time you will get such matte tongue, you will get red shining smooth and dry tongue. At that time you can get also dysentery, okay. So such differences, if you are going to look towards the tongue, such things are seen. Throat, there is faucious red, means tonsil become red and inflamed, dry and rough, parotid gland becomes swollen, uvula is relaxed, edematous bladder, like, okay, uvula get relaxed and edematous, it look like a bladder, okay, it become very edematous, it get very puff, okay. But tonsils are red and inflamed, there is redness of tonsils and inflammation of tonsils, dry and rough, parotid gland becomes swollen, pseudomembranous deposit on tonsils and soft palate, there is pseudomembranous deposits, okay. Patient get deposition on the tonsils and soft palate, burning extended to stomach, a lot of burning in the stomach, apathy, actus ulcer in the mouth, diphtheria with profound prostration and soft pulse. Okay, diphtheria. There is diphtheria like conditions with profound prostration, lot of weakness and soft pulse. Discharges from mouth, throat, tough and stringy. This tough and stringy discharges, which leads to hacking a lot, which leads to again having cough, a lot of cough. Okay, there is prostration, profound prostration with soft pulse, with fever, and discharges from mouth, discharges from throat are tough and stringy. There are stringy and tough discharges. Okay, we'll move further. Stomach, nausea and vomiting after beer. This is really important. Nausea and vomiting after beer. So, as I told you already, these remedies had not proven in our country, or this literature has not written in our country. Okay, at that where this in Germany, or where Kent has been working, Kent was worked a lot at that area, at that country, there where beer or alcohol is really normal thing for them, okay. In here in our country it is not normal for as such, but nowadays this become really very normal, okay. I'm talking about that era when these remedies has been proven, okay. Before 200 or 150 years ago, it's not about right situations, okay. It's not about right now situation. So whenever this nausea and vomiting come up, it is commonly seen after beer, that load immediately after filling, okay. This patient will feel a loading and the lot of load in the stomach after eating, feels as if digestion has stopped, okay, and dilatation of stomach and gastritis. Now this is really important remedy for your dilatation of stomach, gastritis and round ulcer of the stomach. So again this remedy is really important remedy for your peptic ulcers, okay. Again for your surgery therapy, round ulcer of the stomach, chylibicromicum, gastritis, chylibicromicum, stitches in the region of liver and spleen through the through spine, okay, through the spine, to the spine, okay. What happened? Stitching pain in liver and spleen lesion, okay, lot of stitching pain and up till the spine. This patient dislike water, just like your pulsatilla, this patient don't like to have water, cannot digest meat at all, uh, uh, desire for beer and acids. Now the things which they are desire for, that is beer and acid, those things only lead to nausea and vomiting, okay. So the things which can create a problem, which leads to again a problem, okay. Gastric symptoms are relieved after eating and all rheumatic symptoms reappear. What happened? Gastric symptoms completely relieved after eating and rheumatic symptom get reappear. I told you in very earlier cases, okay. Whenever this patient have a lot of problem, whenever this patient have a gastric problem, at that time they will not have any rheumatic complaints, like they will not have any joint pain or inflammation of joint or any with difficulty while walking, they will not have all that complaint. When gastric symptom completely relief, when there is no nausea, no vomiting, there is no any stitching pain, there is no gastritis, there is no dilatation of stomach, at that time all these extremity symptoms come up, okay. So when you need to take out the case, whenever you are going to take the case, you have to ask this patient very thoroughly and carefully what is happening with them, okay. And when you going to understand this is the things which are going to happen in this patient. This alternative alteration you are going to get. At that time you can use this remedy. Okay. Abdomen, there is cutting pain in the abdomen, lot of cutting pain. Okay, something is continuous, has been cut up, such cutting pain is in abdomen soon after eating. Just after eating, this patient will have that cutting pain, chronic intestinal ulceration. Now, again, this as I told you, this psychosyphilitic miasm of this remedy, this ulcerations has been seen, destruction has been seen. Okay, soreness in the right hypochondrium, fatty infiltration of liver, and increase in a soft tissue. What happen if you are going to take your sonography, USG report for your patient about your for sonography, abdominal sonography, for any reason? It can be, it can patient have any abdominal pain, or patient can have any renal stone like problem, and you ask the patient to go for a sonography. At that time you can find a fatty infiltration of liver, grade 1 fatty liver, you can find. Now you need to ask the patient, have you ever suffered with the jaundice, have you ever suffered with the hepatitis? At that time, while a healing of with hepatitis, this patient get fatty infiltration in their liver. Okay, so grade 1 fatty liver is common, but alcoholic fatty liver is seen. Okay, or liver cirrhosis is seen. So you need to take care of patient according to the situation. Okay, painful retraction and soreness and burning. Painful retraction of your abdomen. There is soreness and there is a burning pain. Now we'll move towards the stool. A jelly-like gelatinous, worse in morning. Jelly-like stool. This is really important. Jelly-like stool, gelatinous stool. Now try to understand the feeling of that jelly-like stool. And now you will not eat a jelly again. Jelly-like stools are there. Gelatinous stools are there, which get worse in the morning. Morning stool आते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा. Dysentery and tenesmus. Lot of dysentery, lot of diarrhea-like condition. Tenesmus of your anal region, there is stools become brown, frothy sensation of plug in anus. Okay, brown color stool, frothy stool, as if there is lot of froth. Okay, or what you call face foam create ho jata hai stools pe. Okay, sensation of plug in anus, periodic constipation. This patient have periodic constipation and alternates with diarrhea, with pain across the loin. Across the loin there is lot of pain and brown urine. Urinary, there is burning in urethra. After urinating, drop seems to remain which cannot be expelled. Okay. After urinating, this patient have typical feeling that drop is there in the bladder which cannot be expelled out, and there is burning of urethra. After urinating, there is a drop seems to be remain which cannot be expelled, just like your benign enlargement of prostate. You will get such type of symptom in your benign enlargement of a prostate. Okay, such things are seen. Then ropey mucus in urine. Okay, there is lot of ropey mucus in urine. Urethra become clogged up. Okay, urethra become clogged up. Now patient cannot pass the urine. Such clogging up feeling is there. Congestion of kidneys, nephritis with scanty albuminous urine and cast. Okay, there is lot of congestion, there is lot of albuminous urine. Okay, albuminous urine, scanty urine, cast in the urine. So you can find out the nephritis like symptoms. So here it has been given, that is nephritis. Okay, congestion of urine, inflammatory condition of your kidneys. There is congestion of kidneys, inflammatory condition of your kidneys with nephritis, with scanty albuminous urine and cast. Palliatis, urine mixed up with epithelial cell, mucus, pus, or blood. There is hematochluria. Hematochluria is a condition where patient have a lot of urine with your blood cells and some pus cells and proteins. Okay, so such things are seen in these conditions. Male, there is itching and pain from the penis with pustules. Okay, itching and pain of the penis, pain in the penis with itching, with pustules, ulcers with paroxysmal stitches, aggravates at night, constriction at root of penis, at night on awakening, syphilitic ulcers with cheesy tenacious exudations. Okay, so try to understand this cheesy tenacious exudations with syphilitic ulcers. You will get in this remedy, but whenever you are going to get ulcers, tenacious exudation become really important uh, for your guiding symptom to prescribe this remedy. Okay, female, yellow tenacious leukorrhea, stringy leukorrhea, yellowish leukorrhea, pruritus of vulva with great burning and excitement, prolapsus uteri, worse in the hot weather, respiratory complaint, voice is hoarse, worse in evening, metallic hacking cough, profuse yellow expectoration, a lot of expectoration, which is really glutinous and sticky. Okay, gelatinous, sticky, and coming out in a long, stringy, and very tenacious mass. Okay, in Kali carp, we have seen lumpy expectoration. Here we are going to find out tenacious and glutinous and uh, gelatinous and lot of stringy discharges, which coming in a long, stringy, and very tenacious discharges. Okay, with yellowishness, with profuse yellow expectorations. Okay, with metallic taste in the mouth and hacking cough, continuous hacking cough. Continuous patient need to hack a lot to clear up the throat. Okay, hoarseness of voice aggravates in the evening. Tickling in the larynx, catarrhal laryngitis, cough has a breezy sound. Okay, patient has a breezy sound, like cough has a breezy sound, as if it has been rubbed through something. Okay. ओके, आय विल एक्सप्लेन इन मराठी. लोखंडावर ज्या वेळेला काही अशी गोष्ट काही घासलं जातं त्यावेळेला जसा साऊंड येतो ना, असा खरखर जो आवाज येतो, समजतंय?
Yes,
whenever
ma'am.
yes, whenever the things has been when friction come up in a things which are made up with the iron. Okay, when friction come up in a contact, when friction is there, at that time some breezy sound come up. Okay, such sound is seen in your larynx, in your laryngitis, cough with laryngitis. Okay, there is true membranous group extending to larynx and nares. Cough with pain in sternum. There is a lot of pain in the sternum extending to shoulders. Okay, worse when undressing. This patient have such respiratory complaints. Huh? Whenever patient gets this respiratory complaints, this patient also have pain in the shoulders when undressing. Facially pain aggravate. Pain at bifurcation of trachea on coughing. Pain from mid sternum to back. From mid sternum to back, this patient have pain. Okay, pain at bifurcation of trachea, and then pains are there. Okay, we'll move towards the next part, that is heart complaints. Dilatation, especially from coexisting kidney lesions. Whenever there is kidney complaints, whenever there is nephritis or glomerulonephritis or your chronic kidney failure, at that time dilatation of heart you will get. Okay, cold feeling around the heart. Around the heart there is a cold feeling. uh, you can also prescribe Kali nitro over there. Okay. And then back there is cutting through loins. In your loin region there is cutting pain. Cannot walk. Extend to groin. Pain in coccyx and sacrum. Extending up and down. Okay. Extremities. Now this become really important part in your remedy. Okay. Um, Extremities pain fly rapidly from one place to another, like Kalisal pulsatilla, wandering pain, along with the bones and worse with the cold. Left-sided sciatica is there. This is really important remedy for your left-sided sciatica. Better by motion. Bone feels sore and bruised, very weak, tearing pain in the tibia. Syphilitic rheumatism. There is syphilitic rheumatism. Huh? Pain fly rapidly from one place to another. From one joint, patient have suffering in ankle joint, then he will find suffering in your knee joint, then find suffering in your hip joint. Wandering pain. In this joint there is a pain, then there is a pain, then there is a pain. Not single part is not affected. Location has been completely changing from time to time. Okay, such wandering pain you will get along to the bones. Worse in a cold environment really get worse. Now I need to tell you that we really don't have a lot of time. I will send you next link within 2 minutes. Please get entered very fast. Okay, so that we can continue with the lecture. I will stop over here. Okay guys. Okay guys.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am.